What's the craziest date experience you had with a classmate? We had talked for a week in class. We had great laughs, shared notes, just stuff usual classmates would do. I picked the Mexican place for first date safety, because chips and queso are basically social training wheels. She sits, smiles, says, "I'm not really hungry," then locks eyes like she's about to confess to a bank robbery. I order enchiladas to fill the silence, and the waiter lights the little candle like this is going to be romantic. She reaches into her bag and out comes a full rectangular container. Foggy lid, red sauce smears, the whole home kitchen. Leftovers, she says, snapping a fork apart like she travels with emergency noodles. I blink so hard the candle wobbles. She twirls a strand and slurps with the confidence of a person who brought a guest to a potluck. Except the guest is last night's marinara. The sizzling plate pops. The scent is perfect. And across from me is a college freshman reenacting Sunday dinner at a booth. The waiter swings by, sees the plastic container, freezes, and his soul leaves his body like a receipt in the wind. She panics, puts the lid on halfway, and blurts, "I can't eat restaurant food. I'm on a family-only diet." Now I was confused. "You're what?" I ask, as politely as a man watching spaghetti sweating in a purse can ask. "My body rejects food made by strangers," she says, like she's quoting a medical textbook from a parallel universe. The waiter looks at me for help, and I look at him like I just found a raccoon at brunch. She starts explaining that her grandma made the sauce, her aunt plated it, and her cousin stirred it clockwise for spiritual reasons. "I can only digest meals from people tied to me by blood," she adds, while adjusting a napkin like a lab coat. I nod because sometimes the only way through a conversation is with nodding. The waiter nods because he works for tips and a higher power. I try to steer us back to normal small talk, ask about her classes, and she says she's double majoring in psychology and marinara defense. She compliments the ambiance, slurps another noodle, and asks if the music is too loud for my digestive aura. My enchiladas arrive molten and magnificent, and I cut into them like I'm sawing through moral ambiguity. I ask if she wants some chips, and she recoils like I offered her a live snake. "Stranger corn," she whispers, and sets her container on a folded napkin like it's an altar. A couple in the next booth stares. The guy whispers, "Is that spaghetti?" like he just spotted a rare bird in the wild. She leans forward and tells me about an incident with a store-bought cookie that took her 3 business days to recover from. I ask how she handles water. She says her dad filters it through a Brita and a playlist. The waiter returns and tries to pretend this is fine, but he's holding the checkbook like a tiny Bible. "Anything else for you two?" he asks, voice trembling like a violin string. She brightened. "Could I have a soda?" But he will cover it since I brought my own meal. I inhale a shred of enchilada into my lungs. The waiter blinks so slow I worry he's buffering. He brings the soda and places it on the table like diffusing a bomb. She takes one sip and tells me her family can always tell when strangers cooked because their elbows feel itchy. I feel my elbows because apparently I'm suggestible. She asks what I'm doing this weekend, but I lie and say, "I got family plans next week." She doesn't notice because she's carefully scraping sauce off the lid with the precision of a jeweler. The couple next to us quietly pays and leaves like witnesses in a sitcom. I finish my food in determined silence while she taps the container and declares, "Perfect bite," because Auntie Linda. The check arrives and I slide my card in while calculating if I owe hazard pay to the waiter. At the door she says she had a great time and that it's rare to find someone who respects boundaries. I drive her home, windows cracked, car filled with the blended scent of onions and red sauce drama. We pull up to her place and she turns to me with grave sincerity. "Just so you know, if we keep seeing each other, eventually you'll get promoted to family food level." I ask what the criteria are, like I'm in an interview. She says there's a meeting, a ceremony, and a supervised pancake. I nod again because nodding is the only language that fits. She thanks me for the soda, clutches her Tupperware like a trophy, and hops out. I watch her jog up the path. The porch light flicks on, and a silhouette opens the door holding another container. As the door closes, I swear I hear, "Did he pass the spaghetti test?" She turns, gives me a thumbs up, and mouths, "Maybe." I pull away, heart beating like a mariachi snare. My phone buzzes with a text that says, "I had fun. Next time my uncle can bring lasagna to the burger place." I think that was the last text I ever got from her.